Well, everyone, welcome to another edition of the DC Capstone Report. It is great to have everybody back with us this week for another podcast on Alabama football, where we get ready for the third Saturday in October, this coming Saturday, against the Tennessee Volunteers, a night game in Bryant-Denny Stadium. So, great to have everybody back. I want to thank Lance for all he does for us, making this possible. I want to make sure that you know he's the one in the studio, pushing all the buttons, making all the production, making sure that this is available for you each and every day, each and every week. We have the podcast up. You've got plenty of opportunities to see it on DCCapstoneReport.com, DC Capstone Report Facebook page. On YouTube, you can listen to us on Spotify. So we thank all of our followers, our listeners. If you are listening to this, please share it. Share it with your friends. Let them know that you can listen to us to get a unique perspective on Alabama football. Well, in the first segment today, we're going to review the game against Missouri. We're going to take, in the second segment, take a look at our players of the game. And in our third and final segment, we're going to preview the upcoming game against the Tennessee Volunteers. Well, welcome back to the DC Capstone Report. In the first segment, we're going to take a review of the game against Missouri. Before we do that, though, I want to remind all of you about our sponsors, RollTideBama.com and FreelancePictures.com. If you want to look at some great Alabama content, Lance's sites, RollTideBama.com and FreelancePictures.com are full of some great Alabama football content. Lance is going to be at the game this week. He'll be taking videos, pictures, still shots of everyone involved in the Alabama football game from the beginning to the end. From the cheerleaders, the Crimsonettes, the $1 Million Band, the drum corps, the football team, coaches, everything will be available for you on those sites immediately following the game against Tennessee. So check out Lance's sites, RollTideBama.com and FreelancePictures.com. And as always, I want to thank our sponsor, Karen Cottingham, Realtor, right here in Tuscaloosa with the Williams Group at Keller Williams. For all your real estate needs, contact Karen at 205-887-4008. If you need a game day condo, you need to buy or sell a house, she's the one to contact. That's Karen Cottingham at 205-887-4008. Well, here on the first segment, we're going to take a look at the review of the game against Missouri. Alabama comes away with a victory, 27-24. Was not what I had predicted. I thought we would score more points. My prediction was 21-24, and I believe that we would have made the 41 points had we just capitalized on some areas in this game. So, a quick review. I got to start with talking about defense. I've criticized the defense in the past, but in this game, I think the defense played one of its best games all year. Came in knowing we were going to have to stop the run, and we did just that. And if you look at the team statistics, a team that was just piling up yardage in the rushing game was held to 163 yards rushing. 163 yards, which is really, really good in the rushing game, holding Missouri. Missouri had two backs that were in the top 10 of all college football, top 10 of all college football in rushing the ball, two running backs. And we held both of those running backs individually under 100 yards each. So it's just a phenomenal way of playing defense. I thought this team did a great job. Now, I know some folks say, hey, what about that first drive where they went down the field? Well, that first drive, and I want you to understand it's a scripted drive. That scripted drive means that they were putting the best plays against our personnel, what we thought we would play, and the schemes that we thought we would play. They had practiced it all week, and they fell to the script. And if you come out on a scripted drive like that, chances are you have an opportunity, if you hit on all cylinders, to do just what they did and drive down and score. But after that, Alabama had them where they wanted them. They kept them off the field. They didn't convert third downs. And I think that the defense played really well, individually and collectively. Our scheme was good. Our players executing was good. We had turnovers in this game that we caused, 2 interceptions, one at the end to seal the game. So I just really feel like this game would have been a much wider margin had our offense been hitting on all cylinders. But I think our defense did really, really good in this game. And also our special team stopping that fourth down punt fake was really good. We had a reserve running back up there on that punt fake that did a good job of stopping it and recognizing it and getting out and running that running back out of bounds prior to the first down yardage. So really good overall play by our defense, good scheme, and I like to see them continue to improve and start faster. I know there's some things that they can improve, but I do think it's probably one of their best performances against a team that they knew was going to run the ball. And Missouri will ride up against you and run the ball and know that you're going to run the ball and still gain yards. But this team, defensive team, did a good job of stopping the run, so I was very proud of that. Now, reviewing on offense, I think we left too many points on the table. That's my opinion, but also when I listened to Coach Grubb talk about it, he said the same thing. We left too many points on the table that we could have taken advantage of. And the reason we did that was not executing properly on the offensive side of the ball. Now, we did some good things in order to score those 27 points. And I thought that was it was good that we were pretty good on third downs and we were great on fourth downs. I think aggressive play calling by our play caller and then a coach that listens for us to go on 4th and 8, 4th and 9, 4th and goal at the goal line where you're up by only about 3. Those are some great aggressive calls that we the offense honored by converting those 4th downs into first downs and touchdowns. So I'm very pleased with that state. But I still think we left too many points on the table. And by that I mean there were times where we did not execute well. And I think that I'm not sure whether it was blocking on the offensive line part, picking up a blitz on the tailback's part, or just holding the ball too long. But I'll tell you that Ty Simpson took to blame for it. He said that he needs to do a better job getting the ball out faster, and he needs to do a better job of getting his balls to the checkdowns. And I agree with that to this extent. There were many times in this game where I think instead of going for the long ball that he could have got his check down, and we would have been able to extend the plays, especially late in the game where if he had gone to his check down, I think we could have extended the plays and not held the ball enough to take us out of field goal range or to put us behind on third down plays by taking sacks. If he had done that, I think this game turned out a little bit different. We would have won by a much wider margin. But all in all, I still think Ty Simpson did well. The bad part of the game, I thought, was the injuries. Already we were down a couple of our 3 wide receivers. And I think Ryan Williams, I don't think he was expected to really play much in this game. I don't think he figured to be a factor anyway because of his injuries during the week. I think Mbakwe had the hand injury. He wasn't going to play in this game. Jalen Hill was illness, and he wasn't going to play. So we were already down some receivers. And then Derek Meadows takes a horrendous hit to the head, helmet-to-helmet hit that caused a concussion. And that was an issue. And then I think Jam Miller getting that issue late in the game, that concussion late in the game, is also going to be an issue. So something to watch going into this Tennessee game would be how our offense stands, how healthy we are going into the game against Tennessee. But overall, a great defensive performance. I really think we need to look past some of these things that people are saying about that first drive and look at the fact that we held a team that was averaging large amounts of rushing game to both running backs under 100 yards. And I just think we did a really good job. So overall, a very good win for us in hostile territory. And I think it's going to do well for us. I think every team that Alabama's had in recent memory that has won national championships has had a game like this where we didn't play our best on the road, but still came away with a victory because we were able to gut out a victory. And I think this is that type of game. Well, welcome back to the second segment here on the DC Capstone Report. We're going to look at the players of the game against Missouri. On the offensive side of the ball, I know I've criticized Ty Simpson a little bit ago for what he could have done better, but I think he did a great job in this game, and so he is my offensive player of the game. He was also the offensive player of the game for the week in the SEC, so had a better performance than any other person in the SEC on offense. So when you look at his stats for this game, it jumps off the page is percentage. I said he would do better if he would take his check down, but he actually was 23 of 31 for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He did have the strip sack fumble, I'm not sure that one was his fault. Maybe couldn't have got out any faster than he did on that one, I think. But in any event, 23 of 31 for 200 yards passing for 3 touchdowns was good, and he was really good on third down. He was really good on fourth down. When the game was hanging in the balance late in the game, made probably the best throw I've seen him make all year to Losier Brooks on the sideline for that 4th and 8, 4th and 9 play. Really put the ball in a short, tight window spot. And I think the touchdown pass to Daniel Hill with the blitzing linebacker in his face was also another touch pass that he did a great job with. So my offensive player of this game has to be Ty Simpson. Now on the defense, there's plenty of people I could have chosen from because of their great play. But I wanted to highlight a player who have not talked about all this year, but the transfer that came in to play in the linebacker position. That's Nikhil Hill-Green. I think that he did an excellent job in this game, helping out when he was in the game, spelling Justin Jefferson and Deontay Lawson, using all 3 of them. If you look at that, he was in on 7 tackles and thought he did a real good job. So was Deontay Lawson. He was in on 7 tackles. Justin Jefferson was in on 6 or 7 tackles. So that trio of linebackers did great. But I think adding him to the mix gives a great spell of relief for Lawson and Jefferson to catch a breather, and therefore it makes our whole defense play at a higher level. So in this game, he did some good things in pass protection on the tight end, pass coverage on tight end, then also in the run game, stopping this running game. So this running back, I can't stress enough how great the running backs were from Missouri. And you got these 3 linebackers that interchangeably played and did a good job. But Nikhil Hill-Green was my standout defensive player of this game. So for my players of the game, it's on offense, Ty Simpson, and on defense, Nikhil Hill-Green. Well, welcome back to the third and final segment this week on the DC Capstone Report. Again, want to thank you all for tuning in. Please share our podcast with those that your friends so they can like us on Facebook, like our page, the DC Capstone Report page, or you can follow us on YouTube, our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you following us and sharing our podcast out there. I want to thank Lance again for all of his great work as he does for producing this each and every week. Our sponsors, RollTideBama.com, FreelancePictures.com, and Karen Cottingham, Realtor, right here in Tuscaloosa with the Williams Group at Keller Williams for all your real estate needs. Well, here we are, coming to that third Saturday in October. A rivalry game against the Tennessee Vols, a revenge game. Could have beaten them last year, was on the cusp of being able to beat them last year and couldn't do it in Tennessee. So now we come back home to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Now we can talk about playing Tennessee. And this is another game in a tough schedule where we've gone through Georgia, undefeated before we played them, Vanderbilt, undefeated before we played them, Missouri, undefeated before we played them, and now Tennessee with 1 loss and doing a very good job on both sides of the ball this year. So the formal opponent coming in at Bryant-Denny Stadium at night on a Saturday night. Well, I think our keys to the game is number 1. Coach DeBoer said it first in his press conference, we need a loud, rocking Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday night. It needs to be the loudest it's ever been because Tennessee is a team that goes fast, and going fast and loud is not mixed when you're trying to get the plays out to your out to wide receivers, and that's what they do. Try to call these plays and go fast and change them at the line of scrimmage. And we need to make sure we're loud, loud, loud. We need the momentum to be on our side, and that starts with a loud crowd. So number 1, I think we got to take advantage of our home field advantage by having a loud crowd that's engaged in the game, the entire game. Number 2, I think it's imperative that we start fast and maintain the momentum in this game. We don't want Tennessee to get ahead. Don't want them to think they can even be in the game with us. We need to start fast. So if we get the ball first, we need to score. If we go on defense first, we need to stop them from scoring. And I think that's the key to this game is to take advantage of the momentum and keep the momentum on our side. I think that On defense, we're going to have to stop them from running the ball. I think they run the ball with their backs and with their quarterback. Their quarterback it can run the ball to extend plays. He can extend third downs. He can keep them on the field. But we need to get them off the field. It's a very fast offense, and sometimes it can be to their advantage. But sometimes we can use it to our advantage if we're loud enough to disrupt some of their calls. I think our defense stays in it and can stop them, and that will keep their defense on the field a long time. And I believe we can be ball control on offense and do that if we can stop them. So, I think we have had a hard time in the past going against fast teams, but I think we're ready for this team as they come in. And so I believe if we maintain our momentum, we take advantage of the home field advantage, we stop the run, and force their quarterback to stand in the pocket to make throws, and I think we have an opportunity for some turnovers in this game. And we need to play aggressive on defense to make their quarterback make mistakes. He's a transfer coming in. He's done really well for them, and they have a really good, fast offense that loves to strike fast. So we got to stop them and keep them in situations of third and long so that he has to pass. If we can do that and cover well, then we come away with a great defensive performance like we did against Missouri. If we stop what they want to do, like we stop what Missouri wants to do, then we have a great opportunity to win this game, win by a wide margin. On offense, I think it's imperative that we run the ball well. Now, here's the question to keep our thoughts on, and that is, how is Jam Miller going to go through his concussion protocol? Remember, his concussion happened late in the game. So he has to go through the protocol a little longer in order to be able to pass all the tests. So does he pass the test, and is he available for this game? If he is, how good is he going to be in order to function and execute cleanly? If not, Kevin Riley and Daniel Hill, are they the ones that's going to be able to carry the game? Does Richard Young get any playing time? He kind of fell off the depth chart since he started the game against Florida State. Or do you take the chance on A.K. Deere, the freshman, and give him a chance to run the ball? Or Dre Washington that we saw on special teams make that great play. Do we give him an opportunity in the running back room? Who's the next one up if Jam Miller has a problem? So I think that's something to think about. But running the ball against Tennessee and then is going to be imperative. And number two is take what the defense gives us. Ty Simpson is doing as great as he has. One of the things he can improve on is hitting his check downs in the flat, to the back, to the tight end. Don't hold the ball too long waiting for that deep threat. Take what they give you. So if we run the ball well and then take what they give us, then there are going to come times where the defense creeps up on the line and they'll be susceptible to a play action pass over the middle, over the seam for a deep, explosive play. So I think we run the ball, we don't make any mistakes, no turnovers, play within ourselves and take what they give us. I believe that's going to give us long, sustained drives that'll end in us with touchdowns or field goals. Now, one thing we have to improve on, not only is Ty Simpson improving on not holding the ball and hitting check down, we got to improve also in converting in the red zone into touchdowns. We've been making a lot of field goal attempts, and we need to put those over more into touchdowns. So I think if we're able to do that, if we're able to run the ball on Tennessee, if we're able to ball control and keep their defense on the field, then toward the end of the game, we're gonna find their defense giving up more bigger plays. So we sustain the drives, play well, no mistakes, and do these things like run the ball and hitting our checkdowns. I think we win this game. I've got Alabama beating Tennessee with a great defensive showing. Alabama 38, Tennessee 17. Well, that's it for the DC Capstone Report this week. For Lance, who's back in the studio, this is DC helping everybody get into the stadium, hoping that we all get in the stadium on Saturday night and yell and scream and make that noise, because we can make a difference for a home field advantage. Until then, this is DC with the DC Capstone Report, signing off with a big Roll Tide.